The Runaway Beignet by Connie Collins Morgan, illustrated by Herb Leonhard. The Runaway Beignet. In a city where magic was more than a simple trick, there lived a kind old baker named Marcel. In the heart of New Orleans, Marcel made an honest living making beignets here and there and everywhere. The stars shine. People agreed that the flavor of the fried rectangle-shaped donut compared to no other. Some believed there was magic in the powdered sugar that topped each beignet, creating an endless desire for its sweetness. Many people thought that the baker could have been rich had he not given his pastries to the poor. He even wandered the cobblestone streets feeding the beignets to the hungry pigeons. Sadly enough, the baker had no family, and even though hundreds of people visited his shop day after day, Marcel was lonely. One morning, a weary stranger wearing a great coat, a colorful scarf, and red shoes entered the shop. "May I please have a glass of cool water?" he asked. Marcel gave the stranger water and a bag of fresh beignets. "Take these with you. Bon appetit." "But I have no money to pay you," said the stranger. Marcel smiled. "I'm not asking for any money." "Your generosity surpasses the fine aroma of your beignets," said the stranger. "Take this bag of sugar, and when the sun welcomes the day, sprinkle it on the first beignet you cook, and wish for anything you want." "I've never heard of anything like this," Marcel mumbled, reaching for the water pitcher behind him. When he turned around to refill the stranger's glass, he was gone. Early the next morning, Marcel opened the bag of sugar. "I must have lost my mind to believe that man." He put 2 dots of sugar on the top of the first cooked beignet. "Meh, that looks like 2 little eyes," he said, laughing. He added a nose and a smiling mouth. "That face makes you look like a beignet boy." As the sugar melted into the pastry, Marcel remembered the words of the stranger and whispered, "I wish that you were a real boy." And to Marcel's surprise, the beignet boy blinked his eyes and jumped upon the table. "Ah, yee! Look at me!" Marcel's eyes lit up. "Bon Dieu! The beignet boy is alive!" But when Marcel reached for the beignet boy, he jumped to the floor. "Hee hee hee! You can't catch me!" And he dashed out the door. Marcel ran down the street shouting, "Stop! Come back, mon petit garçon!" But the beignet boy just smiled as he sang, "Believe you me, I'm gonna get away. You're not gonna taste this little beignet." Down Canal Street and through the French Quarter he zipped, running across a bandstand of jazz players. The beignet boy leapt upon a drum with a burst of powdered sugar. "Ah, yee! Look at me!" he sang, shaking his little beignet hips. The crowd stomped and romped to the rhythm of "When the Saints Go Marching In." Suddenly the drummer sniffed the aroma of the freshly baked beignet. "Hey, what's up?" The beignet boy yelled. "Oh no, end of the show!" And he dashed off the bandstand singing, "Believe you me, I'm going to get away. You're not going to taste this little beignet." "Stop, come back," shouted the jazz players. But the beignet boy kept running. But when he came to Jackson Square, the beignet boy posed in disguise while a street artist painted his picture. Marcel and the jazz players ran around and around Jackson Square. "Hee hee hee, they don't see me." And all of a sudden the street artist whiffed the sweet beignet aroma. You come with me, no?" "No," said the beignet boy, racing out of Jackson Square. "Stop, come back," the artist yelled. "The beignet does not run away from the André." The beignet boy dashed along the Mississippi River past a mime, around a juggler, and between the stilts of a street performer. His song echoed throughout the riverwalk. "Believe you me, I'm going to get away. You're not going to taste this little beignet." Marcel, the jazz players, and Andre, the zany artist, followed the beignet boy into the French market. Their reckless chase upset the merchants selling the wares. Fleeing the scene, the beignet boy zipped out of the market wearing a Mardi Gras mask and colorful beads. Ah, yee! Look at me! Marcel spun out of the market wearing a lady's dress. The jazz players rolled out in their underwear, and the artist stumbled out with a crawfish on his head. Even the upset merchants were lured by the sweet aroma and joined the chase. Stop! Come back! They all cried. But the beignet boy rushed away, singing, Believe you me, I'm going to get away. You're not going to taste this little beignet. The beignet boy ran alongside a mule-drawn carriage, and when he leapt onto the back of the mule, it galloped away. Hee hee hee, I'm totally free, said the beignet boy, sitting snugly on the mule's back. Oh no, Marcel cried. Mon petit garçon is gone. So Marcel, the jazz players, the artist, and all the merchants trudged back to work. When the mule was finally tired, the beignet boy hid in Jackson Square. A friendly pigeon became his only company. And as the sun sank into the stillness of the night and the last sounds of the jazz faded into the moonlight, the beignet boy wiped away a tear. Believe you me, I'm glad I got away, but I wish there were a friend for this little beignet. Can I help you? Said the pigeon. I know someone who needs a friend. The pigeon flapped his gray wings and strutted his red feet. As he cocked his head, a band of colorful feathers glistened around his neck. Suddenly a whirlwind of pigeons swooped down and lifted the beignet boy into the air. When he looked down to wave goodbye to the friendly pigeon, it was gone. A man wearing a gray coat, a colorful scarf, and some red shoes was waving. That night a veil of gray swept across the ground outside of Marcel's shop, and when he opened his front door, the pigeons flapped their wings in unison as the beignet boy sang, Believe you me, I'll never run away. I'm gonna always be your little beignet. Marcel beamed with delight. You're mon petit garçon. Hee hee hee. I'm as happy as can be, said the beignet boy, and he gave Marcel a big powdery beignet kiss. And that's the end.